All right, good afternoon. We are expecting to see a winter storm moving into the area tomorrow and lasting much of the day on Sunday as well. So a winter storm warning has been issued for really all of northeast Kansas, and that's going to begin tomorrow morning and go all day and then go all day into Sunday as well. We are very likely to see this starting off as some freezing rain and sleet. That means we'll have some ice glazing across the area, and it may take a long time for this to transition over to all snow. Areas closer to and north of Highway 36, we're talking about areas like Concordia, Belleville, Washington, Marysville, Seneca, Hiawatha, over to Highland. You very well may see all snow or mostly snow from this beginning tomorrow and lasting much of Sunday. So your totals for snow are going to be higher to the north, most likely, in those areas where it snows for the greatest length of time. Areas like Emporia, Burlington will probably see lower snow totals, but you're going to see higher ice totals is how it looks at this point. So we are expecting to see this major winter storm starting off as ice. Isaac, is the graphic up now or is it my face? The graphic's up? All right, thank you. So here, let's check out some weather graphics on this and explain kind of what's going on. The map you see here is one I will not show on TV very often, but this explains why we have an ice situation developing. That map represents approximately 6 p.m. on Saturday, and it's the temperature of the air roughly 2,000 feet above the ground here in northeast Kansas. That's going to be above 32 degrees, so we'll be starting off as rain to 2,000, 3,000 feet up, but at the surface, the freezing line will be all the way down along the Oklahoma state line. So anywhere seeing precipitation, like Topeka, Emporia, Wichita, almost anybody seeing precipitation during the day on Saturday is going to almost certainly start off as rain at those areas. If you're north of that white line, as I mentioned, from Belleville, Concordia, Washington, Hiawatha, you'll start off as snow because the temperature higher in the atmosphere is still cold enough for it to start off as snow and still be snow on the way down. But again, there's a significant risk of seeing ice out of this, probably some sleet, but the layer of freezing is shallow enough that a lot of this will come down as freezing rain and as a glaze, which of course causes a lot of problems and can cause power outages. So Supercast showing the precipitation is fairly light on Saturday morning. Again, if this is a freezing rain glaze, this would be something that could make the roadways very slick very, very quickly. The temperature will certainly be below freezing, but above 2,000 feet, temperature is just above freezing. So this will come down as ice. That's 6 p.m. on Saturday. It just showed you that map a moment ago, showing you that up to Highway 36 was the highest chance of seeing ice. This computer model wants to show ice all the way to the Nebraska state line. I don't think that'll be the case. I really think that Concordia, Washington, over to Marysville, and Hiawatha, Seneca will probably be mostly snow at this time, but it could be kind of a mix of wet snowflakes and sleet pellets the farther north you go. Either way, it's a wintry mess. There's 4 a.m. on Sunday. Now what we will see is the temperatures, that layer I just showed you, where it will be right around the 32-degree mark, 2,000 feet. The temperature at that level drops off to about minus 30 by the time we get to Sunday at 4 a.m. It won't be that cold at the surface, but what that means is the higher layers of the elevation in the atmosphere will see very fluffy snowflakes that add up quickly to those snow totals because the upper atmosphere will get extremely cold very fast. So still some ice for Topeka, Emporia at 4 a.m. Sunday, but as the morning rolls on Sunday, it is all snow with a stiff north wind gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Could even gust at 45 miles per hour at times. So what you will hear in many cases like this is what is called near blizzard conditions. What in the world is a near blizzard? That means that the conditions are not quite up to the National Weather Service definition of what a blizzard would be. In order to make it to blizzard conditions, you have to have, this is very specific, you have to have 35 mile per hour sustained winds for at least 3 hours in duration with the snow and or blowing snow. But it has to be 3 hours, it has to be 35 miles per hour for the wind, and it has to be sustained at that, not just gusts. So if you have heavy snow and winds gusting to 50 for a few minutes, that's not a blizzard, that's near blizzard. So when you look outside on Sunday, you will think, yeah, it looks like a blizzard to me. It is going to be a mess to get around. There's 6 p.m. on Sunday. We are still snowing, probably heavily, and the snow ends by midnight on Sunday. Monday morning, my kids are scheduled to go back to school. Many of yours are as well. That's probably going to be, we'll see. I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but the likelihood of having school in session on Monday is definitely not 100% at this point. I would definitely check WIBW.com, watch our TV station as well to see if there are closings, cancellations. If you haven't already, make sure you download the WIBW News app. You can get an update for your particular school district whenever they cancel or close. They are going to contact us right away whenever they do make that decision, and we will then send out a push notification to you letting you know as quickly as possible. So you don't have to check over and over on social media, our websites, or make phone calls. You'll just know. It'll come to your phone and let you know when the situation has been decided. So Saturday and Sunday, snowfall totals, how much? There are many forecasts showing double digits. I'm going to go with a 6 to 9 inch range, anywhere north of that yellow line. 6 inches is probably the low end at this. For northeast Kansas. Down to the south, Burlington, Emporia, I have you in a 3 to 5. The reason I have that lower number to the south is because you're most likely going to see a lot of ice out of this before you transition over to snow. So about a ½ inch of ice, up to a ½ inch of ice possible for Emporia, Burlington, Cottonwood Falls, down to Yates Center, with up to a ¼ inch of ice in Topeka. So what will happen with that? If we have a ¼ inch or a ½ inch of ice glaze, if that sticks to power lines, which it will, sticks to tree branches, which it will, and then we have 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts or higher, you're probably going to have some power outages. So that's a real risk here. Once we get into this storm, the heavy wind won't happen with the freezing rain and the sleet. The stronger wind will happen most likely during the day on Sunday. So what we'll have with this is the glaze continues to pile up through the day on Saturday into the wee hours of Sunday morning. Sunday late morning, early afternoon, the stronger wind kicks in, and the weight of that ice on tree branches, power lines, and all those things, that's where you have your problem with power outages most likely happening. We'll have car accidents, I have no doubt about that. I do hope folks will stay off the roads as best you can on a Sunday, and that may be a situation into Monday as well. But I do expect to see power outages out of this. It's becoming more and more likely. Here's another computer model of the snow amounts. This is the NAM, the 20-kilometer resolution. And this one is showing the higher snowfall totals kind of in the same area. It has more of a northeast to southwest trajectory. So this would have higher amounts in areas like Council Grove down to McPherson and Marion, but still showing Emporia, Burlington in that area of higher ice accumulation. But still the trend there in more agreement with the previous model I showed a few minutes ago. So Saturday evening, you'll see the ice and snow. It's going to begin actually earlier in the day. I put this up as evening. We'll have the snow starting to kick in a little bit by then, but mostly ice through the day. Sunday, the ice chance ends early in the morning. It's going to snow most of the day on Sunday. Monday morning, we'll have a wind chill of minus 10 degrees. So the road crews always work as hard as they can to get the roads cleared. No doubt about that. But I can tell you this, if the temperature is 31 degrees with snow, there is a level of difficulty getting rid of the snow. If you have heavy snow and the temperature is around 0, which it will be Monday morning, it is much harder to remove that snow. Once you throw in some strong wind to blow the snow back around over roads that have already been cleared, it makes it an ongoing mess. Even after the snow is stopped, you can have blowing and drifting, which pushes it right back out onto the roadways. So while the road crews are going to be working around the clock tirelessly, trying to clear this storm and trying to clear this snow, I would expect that roadways are still going to be problematic on Monday morning as well, no matter how much they do with this, just because when it's that cold, it is much harder to clear the frozen precipitation of those roadways. So temperatures, there's Sunday, highs only in the teens and lower 20s, plenty cold enough for this to be an icy and snow-covered mess. There's Monday morning, a low of minus 3 degrees on Monday morning. So with the temperature that cold, as I mentioned, it will be extremely hard to clear the snow and ice off of the roadways. So Monday morning, again, wind chill values around minus 10. Monday afternoon, that's not going to melt any snow at all, with high temperatures ranging from 10 in Hiawatha to about 17 in Emporia. So with the ice, whatever we have sticking onto trees and power lines at that point, it's not going to melt quickly. It's not going to melt much at all on Monday, as a matter of fact, when we have the temperatures that cold. So we don't get much better on Tuesday. High temperatures likely in the teens at best. So I do encourage you, again, if you haven't already done this, make sure you download the WIBW weather app. We send updates on that very often when we have major storms, like this one, of course. So I'll have this up on our TV station as well on 13 News at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. So when I put that QR logo there up, you can point your camera at the TV and it will guide you on how to download the WIBW weather app if you haven't done that already. The WIBW News app, and again, I use this myself. If you point your phone at that QR logo, which I'll have up on the newscasts, you can also get the WIBW News app. This one will send you a customized alert whenever you have a closing. So if your particular school closes, a lot of businesses and churches and those kind of things as well, you will get that update sent straight to your phone. So right now we don't have any sort of storm in the area. Temperatures are still above freezing in most spots. We are expecting to see cloudy and cold conditions tonight. But again, this winter storm kicks in tomorrow. It's going to be ice during the day tomorrow for most of us, and then changing over to mostly snow through the day on Sunday. So go back to the computer model one more time. We'll break off this live stream, get ready for 13 News at 4, coming up here in just about 50 minutes. But through tomorrow, from tomorrow morning until the afternoon, that's all coming down as freezing rain and sleet. Areas close to Highway 36, I think this is going to be mostly a mix of snow and sleet through the day tomorrow. But then Sunday morning, we change over to all snow around 4 or 5 a.m. The snow will continue to be heavy at times through the day on Sunday, with many of us picking up a half a foot of snow or more. And I want to go back and show you that the accumulation graphics as well real quick. If I don't do that, if I keep this going, I'm going to jump right past it. So we'll go back through that one more time here. So again, this is a freezing rain and sleet mix tomorrow much of the day. Roadways are going to be a mess. And the freezing rain is likely to stick on tree limbs and power lines and those kind of things. The tree limbs, the issue there is they become weighted, and then once you have the strong wind that kicks in later Sunday, it will bring those tree limbs down. They can fall on power lines, and then you're going to have power outages almost surely on Sunday from this. So winds gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour there on Sunday, possibly as high as 45 miles per hour, and we do expect to see cancellations on Monday. Snow forecast. Big area here of 6 to 9 inches of snow. Anything north of that yellow line I have painted on here is almost sure to see 6 inches of snow or more from this storm. Burlington, Emporia, the reason your snowfall totals are lower is because you're probably going to see a more significant batch of ice with this. There could be up to a half inch of ice accumulation. Some sleet pellets and freezing rain with this are almost a surety in those areas. But again, the big story on this, I do want to focus with you. Isaac, go ahead and come back to me. I do want to focus on this part of this. On Saturday, tomorrow, please don't walk outside at noon and say, where's the snow? I want to build a snowman or whatever. The weather guy said snow. It's not going to snow much on Saturday. Excuse me. This will be mostly ice and sleet on Saturday. Areas like Marysville, Concordia, Salina, Seneca, Hiawatha, Highland, you may see a lot of snow falling on Saturday, especially by the afternoon. But areas like Topeka, Emporia, Lawrence, Manhattan, there's going to be a sleet, freezing rain, some snow mix during the day on Saturday. The majority of the snow accumulation will happen early on Sunday morning, lasting into Sunday afternoon. So please don't step outside on Saturday and say, where is all the snow at? If you do venture out on Saturday, do this for me. Be very cautious on the roadways. There are going to be areas that are very, very icy on Saturday on the roadways. Even if we get a lower end event with this, the freezing rain will still make roadways very, very slick. Don't forget about your sidewalk. Don't forget about your driveway. If you have a deck, you have an elevated deck especially, those are going to be very slippery tomorrow if they are not treated with some sort of solution or salt to melt that. So be aware, you're going to have very icy patches across the area from the freezing rain glaze. The heaviest of the snow will fall through the day on Sunday, and the bulk of the snow should be done with by Sunday at midnight. Monday, many of the schools go back in session. My kids have school on Monday. 501 goes back on Monday. I just told my kids today, you're probably not going. I'll make decisions later on to see what we do, but there's a significant chance of seeing closings on Monday, so just be aware of that. I'm not saying schools are closed. I'm not guaranteeing that will happen, but I'm telling you, just lean forward and be prepared in case we see school closings, because the chance is significant we could have that happen on Monday, and certainly you want to make sure that you are ready to adjust your plans accordingly. By the time the storm is done with, it's somewhere between 6 to 9 inches of snow for many of us, and an ice glaze under that, with extremely cold temperatures afterward that will keep this from melting for several days. Again, I'll see you on 13 News at 4. I'll be on live at 5 and 6. We'll have another live cast right here, a live stream at 7 p.m. this evening. If you have some questions, save them up for me then, and I'll try to answer some right here with you. So stay with WIBW channels. We'll keep you safe and informed. Have a great day.